Well, if enjoying the piano indoors is more your thing, there is one musician right here in Washington, D.C. who's been entertaining audiences for decades. Dan Ruskin has seen it all from his piano bench, and while administrations may come and go, he's had a front row seat at two of this city's iconic watering holes. In tonight's first-person account, he talks about the musical memories and even the unusual requests, which he gets an awful lot.
What I do when I sit down to play the piano, I look at the room. I look at the age of the people. You got to play the room. You're not playing the piano, you're playing the room. So you say, well, what kind of music was popular when that guy was 18? That girl over there. And then you kind of go back and you say, well, that would be 1962 or 1971 or 1948. And then you just know from your own repertoire exactly the kind of thing you do, and you instantly look at them. And if they get into it, then that's what you hit. When you play music to ignore, when you're musical wallpaper, you're invisible. That's the great thing about it. So you can gauge the room and look at the room. The only thing you don't want to do is be too loud. But when you have them, you have the focus, then it's just wonderful because you feed off them and they feed off you. It's kind of a love affair. No words are ever said. You know, when I was a kid, we were in Buffalo, New York. Kenmore, New York is a suburb of Buffalo. It was tough. There was no jobs. We were just pulling out of the Depression. And my mother, who was from St. Paul, Minnesota, and she had taken piano lessons, and we just loved the way she played, and she played the Flower Song. It was like silent movie music, and we just thought it was the greatest thing in the world. You know, like everybody else's parents, all the parents in the Depression, they wanted their children to be movie stars, so they wanted to get them out of the existence. So they were encouraging any kind of theatrical bent that kids had. When I sit at the piano, people always come up to me. The most requested thing I get, the biggest question I get is, where's the men's room? So they don't know anything about it. I'm just there. I'm sort of like a guard. People would come up to me and they think that I don't know the song, and they would say, I wonder if you'd know any songs by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Gosh, I wonder if I do. In the bar, you can tell when things are different. When Jimmy Carter was in, nobody drank because Carter didn't drink. And so we went from the 2-martini lunch, we went to orange juice, and everybody put on cardigan sweaters. So the difference between Republicans and Democrats, it's great. The waiters get together and say, oh boy, the Republicans are coming. They're great tippers. So they wait and the Republicans come, then they're not. And so they say, oh boy, wait till the Democrats come in. Man, they're great tippers. And they come in, and they're not. Some of these politicians, you know, everybody's always bowing and scraping to them, so they have this feeling of entitlement. And whenever Richard Nixon would come into the room, he'd scoot you off the piano bench. You'd have to step aside because he wanted to play the piano. And he played the piano just like he did everything else. Sort of like this. He was like a Nixon impersonator. I've kind of had the feeling that no matter where I go, I will immediately find work and I will immediately find satisfaction. I've never failed. I've been broke. And whenever I walk into a place, everybody lightens up if there's a piano. You know, I play so much that I wonder if I'll ever get tired of it, but I don't seem to. I think about playing when I'm not playing. I just play in my sleep. I love it so much that I can't possibly think of doing anything else.